Hi guys, so I'm going to read Journey into Mystery number 91. This issue isn't really, I just like to do the Thor issues in order. There's not much that happens in this story. There's the first appearance, the guy who appears in this is Sandu, but he only appears like a couple times in the comics. He's not a very important villain, but I just like to read them all in order anyway, but the Thor comics. But Sandu, master of the supernatural, was only a mortal, but his powers were the powers of Loki himself. Though I am far from Earth, I, Loki, shall still defeat Thor with the help of Sandu. Even my great strength will not be enough to save me if Sandu covers me with that concrete building. In his heavenly citadel, Odin, ruler of the Norse gods, thinks of his eldest son, the mighty Thor. This is his belt of strength. If he were to gird it about him, his awesome strength would be increased. But thus far he has needed it not. His own strength has been more enough to deal with wrongdoers. So the enchanted belt remains in my trust until the fateful day when the Lord of Thunder has need of it. So yeah, it's also the first appearance of this belt. So I think that's Thor's regular belt, the regular one he uses. But unknown to Odin, that day is close at hand. Even now as Thor returns from his last adventure, hoping for a period of peace and quiet. So I think last issue he's fighting the Mafia, that's what he's doing. He's fighting the mob, but what's happening below? Some kind of advertising stunt? The mighty Thor battles Sandu, the master of the supernatural. Plot Stan Lee, script Larry Lieber, art Joe Sinnott, lettering Terry Sisnix.
It just started to rise in the air by itself.
It's not stopping, it's floating higher. All those people inside the bank. What will happen to them? Look, here comes Thor. He'll save the bank.
A tremendous invisible force is lifting the structure, but I'm overcoming it.
Thor is forcing us back down to Earth again.
Thank heavens. But in the next awesome instant,
the bank, it's gone. It has vanished into thin air.
But how?
And then moments later,
look, all the people in the bank have reappeared.
Nothing more for Thor to do. Now time for Dr. Don Blake to take over. In a deserted alley, the Thunder God strikes his enchanted hammer once, reverting back to his mortal form. Where did you all vanish? Where did you all vanish to?
We don't know, but I had my life savings in that bank.
Yeah, what happened to all the money?
It's like a fantastic dream.
So I think he's talking, so... Oh, wait, no, he isn't, no. I can't remember anything that happened after we vanished.
Me neither.
I'm a doctor. Tell me, do you have any headaches or any head pains whatsoever?
No, it's just that my memory's gone.
Same here. Okay, break it up. You folks who are in the bank, you have to come to the station and answer some questions. A building rising in the air and then vanishing. People losing their memory for no physical reason. It smacks of supernatural mischief. And that smacks of the god of evil, my old enemy, Loki. Once again, Don Blake becomes Thor, and flying to a lonely mountain, he invokes the name of his legendary Norse father. Odin, hear me! I, thy eldest son, seek the whereabouts of the sinister Loki.
By my will, the evil Loki is confined here in Asgard, where he shall remain till he has atoned for his misdeeds.
Then he has not come to earth again. Then he is not the one I seek. I thank thee, fair father. Farewell. Editor's note, our Asgard is the heavenly citadel of the Norse gods. But if it is not Loki, then who is responsible for what has happened? Who else has the power to make a building rise in the air and then vanish? Even while Thor ponders over the mystery, another astonishing event is taking place at a distant racetrack.
All our money is floating in the air. Stop it, stop it. How? It's the entire day's take flying away. But there's no wind. What's making all the bills move? What's keeping them in the air? I don't know. I only wish I could float too. I'd go after all that beautiful loot.
But in the citadel of the gods, the most dangerous immortal of all watches the earthly scene with undisguised glee.
Ha! I haven't enjoyed myself this much in centuries. Poor Thor. Odin told him the truth. I am in Asgard, but there are other things which Odin does not know.
What other things? For the answer, we must go back a few days to the time Dr. Blake and his lovely nurse returned to their office from a house call. Look, Jane, a carnival.
How exciting. They have a mind-reading act.
Your social security number is 42218
Hey, he's right.
Gee, I wonder what the trick of that mind-reading is.
It may not be a trick. Sandu may really have extrasensory mental powers. Some people do, but only to a slight degree. I mean, he could be a mutant. Well, I don't think so. But you are correct, sir. I have just detected your thoughts. Thus I know you are in love with a woman whose initials are JF.
Why, those are my initials.
He must have made a mistake. I mean, they often try to embarrass people. It's part of their act.
I should have known that Dr. Blake would never be interested in me romantically. He's too stuffy to fall for any girl.
Sandu really scored a bullseye, but I couldn't admit it to Jane. If she knew I loved her, I'd be able to keep no secrets from her. She'd soon learn that I was Thor, and Odin has forbidden me to reveal that to any other mortal. Meanwhile, in a realm beyond mortal men, Loki is plotting revenge against the one who had twice defeated him on Earth.
Odin forbids me to go to Earth, but if I were to increase the extrasensory powers of that mind reader, I could make him almost as powerful as I am.
And if I'm any judge on mortals, Sandu, given supermental powers, would use them for evil. He might even defeat Thor, thus giving me the vengeance I seek.
So be it. I shall increase the human's meager extrasensory ability. I shall make it 1,000 times stronger.
Then, when Loki had worked his magic spell, strange, but suddenly I know just how much money Spectator is carrying. Yes, Loki has chosen his subject well, for then Sandu selected the person with the most money. Never could I before have I levitate things, but now I merely concentrate.
And not only can I make the money rise, I can also teleport it instantly from one place to another.
And that first act of crime only whetted Sandu's appetite.
Such fantastic mental powers must not be wasted on small feats. I shall commit spectacular crimes. There will be no stopping me. I'll be as rich as Midas. Aha, I indeed chosen the right mortal. That villainous Sandu will create as much havoc on Earth as I ever did. And sooner or later he will battle Thor. How I long for the moment that Sandu defeats my ancient enemy. Not until then shall I rest.
So, while Loki watched gleefully,
In a moment these fools will witness the most amazing bank robbery of all time. The levitation of an entire bank.
But as luck would have it, just as Sandu performs his fantastic feat,
It's Thor! He's forcing the floating bank down again.
Bah, that meddlesome oaf won't stop me. Not while I also have the power of teleportation.
Holy Hannah, it's vanishing!
By sheer mental concentration, Sandu teleported the bank and himself to a secluded area outside the city.
How did we get here? First we were floating in the air, and now this.
It is merely one of my many mental feats that I intend to perform. You caused this. Okay, Mac, I don't know how you did it, but you better undo it. And no funny stuff, see? Ha, you think puny weapons frighten me? Go ahead, shoot.
Angry and desperate, the guards opened fire, but to their astonishment,
my bullet, it dropped to the ground.
Mine too.
With my mental power of levitation, I can control the movement of anything, even bullets. And I'm not finished yet.
The revolver, it floated out of my hand.
My gun's turned around, it's aiming at me. I could easily will the triggers to move again, but I won't. I don't need to harm such helpless foes. Instead, I'll simply teleport you all back to the city,
and at the same time remove telepathically the memory of this incident from your minds. Thus you shall never be able to reveal the whereabouts of the bank."
Seconds later. "They're back! Where did you vanish to?"
I can't remember.
What about the bank? Where is the money? Where is all of it?"
Strange, I can't recall a thing."
And that was only the beginning of Sandu's supernatural crime wave.
"We saw the train carrying gold bullion rise off the tracks and fly away. Every painting in the museum vanished."
There's not a lead to go on. No lead. There's not a thing to go on. No leads, no clues. And so he returned to the present.
"I've explored the entire state, but it's useless. I can find no trace of the vanished bank, or train, or anything."
"Of course not, fool. For after Sandu emptied the valuable contents into an underground vault, he teleported the remnants of his crimes to the moon. But soon Sandu will grow more confident. He will commit even bolder acts."
And so it happens.
"A man with my powers should live in the palace, even if it means teleporting himself halfway around the world to find one."
And after levitating its occupants, outside Sandu moves the great edifice.
"Now to return home, at the speed of thought. From now on, I am through concealing myself. I am ready to face the world and become its master."
Revealing his deeds to the authorities, Sandu informs them that his next target will be in New York City.
"They didn't believe me until they saw me."
Wait, that would imply Thor's not in New York City. So where could he be? Well, that gets retconned later. So I don't know. I don't know where he could be. Like, he could be Chicago or something. But
"They didn't believe me till they saw me levitate myself. Now they've sent jet fighters to stop me. If he doesn't surrender and return to the ground, our orders are to open fire."
But the mental marvel scoffs at the airman's commands. And when they let loose with machine guns and rockets,
"I merely concentrate to turn their own weapons against them."
"He's making the shells come right back at us. We can't dodge them. Bail out." "Good thing our ejector seats worked in the nick of time. Man, nothing's gonna stop that guy, not with his power."
"And when they dare attack me with nuclear bombs, I'll simply teleport them to some other continent."
Reaching New York, Sandu heads for the United Nations building, and among those watching the spectacle,
"Now that he has come into the open, it will not be long before he encounters Thor. Then I shall have the pleasure of seeing him defeat the Thunder God with the powers I have given him."
"Look, he's making the UN building rise."
"It happened so fast. All the delegates are still inside. They didn't have a chance to get out."
Meanwhile, in another city, "Where are you rushing off to, Doctor?" "To the hospital. There's an emergency case. They want me for consultation." But moments later, in a deserted alleyway, there's an emergency, all right, but it's not the hospital, and it can't be handled by a mere mortal. It needs the power of the mighty Thor. Thus, when Thor takes to the air, the man with the invincible mind carries out his grim plan.
"Hear me, delegates of the United Nations. I shall levitate this building beyond the atmosphere of Earth."
"But there's no oxygen in outer space. We won't be able to breathe."
"You must not do it. You must return us to the ground." "I'll spare your lives on one condition, that you make me absolute ruler of Earth."
But we're only representatives. We don't have the power to do that." "The madman. The man is mad. Humor him."
"Look, here comes Thor." "At last, the moment I have awaited. Sandu, those people are not warriors."
Oh, I think that's... Who's talking here? Okay, I think that's Thor.
"Sandu, those people are not warriors, but I am. Return them safely to the ground, and prepare to battle one who is your equal." No one that breathes is my equal. We will soon see if your deeds can match your words."
Teleporting to the building, back to Earth, Sandu himself descends with the Thunder God in pursuit.
Come, Thor, catch me if you can." "I can and I will." "That derrick and those girders. All I have to do is concentrate, and I can teleport them into the air, right behind me. Like so.
Those girders, I'm going to...
Cling. It was a clever trick, and it worked like a charm. There goes the mighty Thor, plummeting to the ground, unconscious.
Look, Thor is stunned. Maybe we can revive him. Come on.
Get back, do as I say, or you too shall feel the wrath of Sandu. You arise not to defy me, and now I command those chains to float over to my foe, and bind him securely. But still I am not done with him, not until he is completely helpless.
Look, he's lifting the building. He's making it drift towards Thor. He's setting the building down in the ditch.
I've imprisoned him. He'll never escape from there. Thor is doomed.
And indeed, it does seem that Thor is finished, even to Loki watching from Asgard.
At last I have been revenged. I gave supernatural powers to Sandu, and he has used them to defeat my ancient enemy. Never again will Thor oppose me.
But even as Loki rejoices, consciousness once again wells within the god of thunder.
I am not injured, but the fall has weakened me. I cannot yet break these chains, let alone smash my way to freedom. O mighty Odin, hear these words. Grant me the power to rise again and vanquish my foe.
And the ruler of Asgard responds,
Long has thy belt of strength been in my charge. Now I shall command the Valkyries to bring it to thee.
Oh, so this is the first appearance of Valkyrie. Oh. So Valkyrie later would be a superhero. She'd be in the Defender. So this is Valkyrie's first appearance, I think. Or the group's first appearance. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but editor's note, in Norse mythology, the Valkyries were Odin's attendants. They also hovered over battles, deciding the outcomes. So I don't know if it's the specific Valkyrie, but I'll do research on it anyway. Yeah, I'll do some research. I'll see if it's actually the real Valkyrie. But at Odin's bidding, the Valkyries descend from the heavenly citadel, carrying the enchanted belt of strength. Being ethereal, they are able to glide right through the steel building and reach the stricken thunder god, girding the belt around his waist. Editor's note, in ancient mythology, mighty Thor actually possessed such an awesome belt. Then, as the Valkyries depart, the body of Thor surges with new vitality.
Once again I have the power never known by another being. Once again I am the mightiest of all immortals. Once again I am Thor!
Spinning his enchanted hammer, the fantastic thunder god swiftly bores an escape tunnel.
I'll be out of here in a few seconds. Then let Sandu beware.
And the fury of Thor is so great that when he emerges from the open, the very heavens darken.
Boom! Those thunderclaps! What's causing them? Look, it's Thor! It's free!
Now for the moment of reckoning. I don't know how he escaped, but it still doesn't matter. I'll still defeat him.
From Asgard, Loki thunders a command.
His hammer, Sandu! You must take it from Thor!
And Sandu's mental powers are so great that he senses Loki's frantic advice.
Must separate him from the hammer. My only chance. Others may fear you, Thor, but not I. To me you are a coward. You fear me so much that you dare not hurl your mallet at me. Impudent clod, the mighty Thor fears nothing that lives.
A split second before the speeding hammer can reach him, Sandu teleports himself out of its deadly path.
It missed me.
Then, performing the most spectacular feat of his fantastic career, the mental marvel teleports himself and the entire surrounding area into another dimension.
I did it! I separated Thor from his hammer. Now they're in 2 different dimensions. Without the mallet, I'll lose my power. In 60 seconds, I'll be Don Blake again. There's no way for Thor to enter the other dimension, to retrieve his mallet. The Thunder God is finished. The legendary mighty magic hammer now belongs to me. Now I, Sandu, shall wield it.
But when the evil human attempts to lift the enchanted mallet,
the thing won't budge. I don't understand. I've used my mental powers and lifted it by levitation.
But even then,
I still can't move it, no matter how hard I concentrate.
Actually, this issue is really, because this, another thing, This is the first time we see, if you're not worthy, you can't pick up Thor's hammer. I think this is the first time you actually see that, so... Yeah, this issue is actually kind of really... I shouldn't have said that at the beginning. It is pretty important, actually. There's some stuff that actually happens in this, but yeah, actually, compared to the previous issues, there's a lot that happens,
But I won't give up. My mental powers are supreme. I'll allow nothing to defy them. I'll strain myself to the utmost. No, stop! Nobody but Thor can lift the hammer. Don't try it! The minute is almost up. As soon as it's over, I'll change back to my mortal form. I won't be thwarted. I'll force the hammer to rise. I must do it. I must. Stop, you fool. The mallet's enchantment is invincible. There's no power that can defy it.
But the frustrated Sandu keeps straining, his power of concentration, forcing it, trying to make it do the impossible, until finally he causes a mental short circuit.
What happened? I'm back in my own dimension again.
The hammer, it returned just in time. And now, to settle the score. You can't harm me. I'll have but to concentrate and...
I can't do it. I can't teleport myself, or lift myself in the air. All my power is gone.
I could make you fly. I could hurl you halfway around the world, but I won't bother. You're no longer a foe worthy of the mighty Thor. We'll take him, Thor. From now on, he'll give us no trouble.
He's due for a long stretch in prison.
Later, atop a lonely mountain.
And when Sandu lost his mental powers, all his feats were undone. Everything is as now as it was before, O noble Odin.
The belt of strength served you well. I hope that you have no need of it again, but if you do, it is yours.
And in a remote part of Asgard,
that brainless mortal, had he not tried to lift the hammer, Thor might have been defeated. But I shall still find a way to defeat Thor, for I have all eternity in which to scheme.
And that's the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.